Hello, I'm Andrew from Advanced Heating Services, Advanced Plumbing Heat London. We're just carrying out our main stopcock replacement here on this water pipe. As you can see, we did that, obviously this has been, when this was closed, it jammed itself closed. So we ended up fitting one of these on. Advanced Heating Services do this sort of thing. If you ever have any problems with something like a stopcock, Advanced Heating can certainly just replace it with this. We cut into the pipe here and obviously change it. This here is your water meter. This is obviously where you take all your water meter readings. If you've ever got an internal leak in your house, this can be quite a good indication of obviously checking, like obviously you can keep it turned off overnight, and if that moves then you've got an internal leak. It's quite a good thing to have actually. But back to the stopcock though, obviously if this ever doesn't turn off, what Advanced Heat can also do is we can also freeze that pipe as well, or get Thames Water to turn it off in the street, or we can turn it off in the street. Advanced Heating Services can certainly change that. I will point out to you, it is quite important to know where your main stopcock is in the house. It's very important in case of an emergency, especially in the winter time. We get dozens of calls in the winter time where pipes freeze up, and obviously no one knows where the stopcock is. A pipe bursts and the water going everywhere, you don't know where it is. Very important. Make sure you know where your stopcock is. Tell everyone in your house, whether it's a commercial or domestic, tell them where it is, draw it on the plan. If you sell the property, it's always a good idea, and best practice, obviously it will impress the people you're selling if you've got a plan of emergency route, and also to turn your main stop valve off, you know where that is. You'll be surprised at the amount of damage water can do. It really is quite bad. So very important, do that. Check your stopcock now, make sure it's not leaking. Another common fault as well, we're going to change this as well. Eventually it is, obviously it leaks out of the stuffing gland. And you do obviously get some deposits coming out. If it does that, you're better to actually change it. You obviously tighten it, but you're better to change it actually, more reliable. You can freeze that pipe or turn it off outside in the street. This is one going up to the flat actually, as you can see. There's a flat upstairs in this property. But we're going to change that as well anyway. Another thing I will point out to you is I would recommend to get a limescale inhibitor. A limescale inhibitor is a filter that goes on a pipe, and it stops the build-up of limescale getting through into the flat to damage things like washing machines or elements or like kettles and things. It is something that actually cuts off any large deposits building up anywhere by obviously eliminating it there, and it stops any of the debris going through. It can cause corrosion. So I mean, they only cost about £100, and Advanced Heating can fit that for you. You'll probably find information about it on the internet. Salamander, limescale inhibitor, or limescale reducers. If you type it in, you'll see it everywhere. But Advanced Heat can fit that. And as I said, we do our freezing kits. If you can't turn it off in the street, you can freeze the pipe. So, rule number 1, know where your main stopcock is. Rule number 2, I would get a limescale inhibitor fitted. You want to get that done, not just in the interest of safety, to try and obviously, way advanced what difficult is, try and work the chances of giving yourself more, or try to stop the chances of getting more expense in the future by simply spend a bit just now, get it sorted, get ready for the winter time. And one final note before we go, I would recommend to get the pipe work lagged. Now when I say lagged, you've probably seen it, you can get the stuff that wraps the pipe. As this goes out into the street, right, or it actually goes outside then goes up. What we should do is obviously lag the pipe, and this will prevent the chances of it from obviously freezing. Certainly helps it. We do have a house up in Scotland as well where I've been a bit scared to leave the house. I've actually left the heating on, and I've also lagged the pipe as well. I'll give that advice to anyone who's watching this video. It's the best advice I'll give you. In the winter time, if you ever leave a property unattended any length of time and it's freezing outside, keep the heating on constantly. Do not switch it off. Make sure that you get the pipes lagged. It's very important, because I have had the situation before. It's been very nasty when you ever get a pipe that bursts. Right, this is how you can prevent the chance of happening. Get them lagged, know where your stopcock is, keep the heating on in your house in the winter, okay? Especially if it's an isolated location, very similar to the one I've got in Scotland. Always leave the heating on no matter what it costs. I would rather pay a bit more gas rather than obviously come back to a flooded property. What can obviously destroy a property. Okay, so that's all for now, but do check our website and keep our number handy in case you have an emergency. I hope you don't, but obviously in the back of your mind you know we're always there 24 hours. That includes the winter time, and also New Year's Day, it doesn't matter when it is, we pick the phone up. There's always an engineer stand by. Because I've noticed a lot of our competitors don't seem to, if you try it out, a lot of them don't seem to pick the phone up after a certain time of night, especially in the winter time, with more than the words I get called out. Okay, so our contact number, keep this 01708 522 666. That's 01708 522 666, 24 hours, all the time, all the way over London. Our website's advancedheatinglondon.co.uk. Okay, and thanks very much for having a look. I hope this video, I think it will be very good advice to you and beneficial, and thanks very much again. Look forward to seeing you.